Right, so this is like a mile in and they're quite comfy. They're like boots, but they should be. And not leaking yet, which is also rather good. I'm kind of on a bit of a circular walk, which will link up with Boundary Walk. And I should have put my trousers on. Well, I mean, I put my trousers on, but I should put waterproof trousers on because it's raining and it's long grass. So now the size of my trousers are going to get wet. That's going to go into my boots. So I thought that through well. So this is a bit of the Boundary Walk, and that's the view. And then Silverstone is over there somewhere. So you might be able to see there's a couple of helicopters flying around. So they'll be back and forth all weekend. And then there's no one else around, and it's obviously raining still, and weather looks a bit grim, which is great. But the boots are still waterproof, as are the helicopters. So probably like 2.5 miles in or so. So I just stopped to do these up because the laces are stretching, but I noticed that hook is in a really stupid place because you can't actually get a lace around it properly, which is a bit irritating. Doesn't seem to be the same. I'm not sure if they're just wrong, but that's irritating as hell because you kind of need to be able to get your lace around that grip in order that the shoe will actually do up, and if it's fiddly it's just unnecessarily irritating. So I don't know if that's as it was on the 3, but I don't remember that ever being irritating to do. But other than that, going well. Right, so this is Oak Hill Wood, which is a little bit more fun than the field because it gets slightly more challenging in places. There are actually paths here, but I'm not using them particularly because I'm an idiot. Basically, this is where teenagers come to have parties. So there are various little paths through the undergrowth that you can take, and lots of fallen trees and stuff to walk over. So it's a slightly more technical thing to do in these boots than walking along a field. Now, there is a bit of pain around my right ankle, but that's just new shoe kind of territory. It's not actually a fundamental issue. I'm going a little bit further. I think we're about 6 miles in. I shouldn't really be going so far, but I am. So there. Why not play in the woods? Warden Hall in the distance on the hill that we're going to end up at, and that's the corner of a field obviously, but we're on the wrong side of the fence, so you could just jump the fence, but that's easy. So we're going to go down this, which is actually a path. It's just that no one else seems to use it except me, which might mean it's not actually a path. But it's fun in its own little way. Just, well, it's not fun, it just hurts. easy. So that's the entrance to that path, which is why everyone takes it, and it's this nice relaxing way to go, and you only get a little bit of blood running down your legs. There's some coming out your hand, and there's some stuff stuck in my hand. So that's Warden Hall, and this is Warden Hill, surprisingly, because what else would it be? And that's the thunderstorm, I guess. And I'm just going to walk straight towards it, because why not? So it's probably 6 miles in for the boots. I just feel like I've owned them a very long time already. They're very much as comfortable as the 3s I've got at home. I'm not really thinking I'm going to need to break these in very much, to be honest. I was expecting to have to turn back, but still a little bit of discomfort in my right foot and ankle. I think it's just the way it's laced. I might have to have a readjustment. Should have caught my breath first to make it look like I was fit. They're really not that bad for running either, which I don't think it's bad for a boot, but running shoes are probably better for running. The fit people are probably better at running than me. So the rain's over there, and those white clouds are sort of hanging. I'm not over there yet. This is the North Bucks Way, I think, technically. So over yonder, that's Nash where we're heading. And then that sort of wood on the hill there is where we're going to go after that, but we're going to go down the road because the other option is to go through a dairy farm, which I can't be bothered to do because there's just a heck of a lot of cows, and I don't like cows. I mean, I like to eat them, but I don't like it when they kind of come and say hello. I mean, they're not carnivorous or anything. They're kind of huge, and I'm not. So we give cows on this and go down roads, which I don't think is necessarily as safe, but it's the only choice we've got, I think. What is a good time to show you is, see the way the water goes into the leather on these boots is kind of weird, because the leather's just not water repellent, it's actually soaking in the water. It doesn't mean they're leaking, but it does kind of make you wonder why they don't just waterproof the leather or use a better grade of leather. You kind of expect it to completely repel the water rather than be soaking it up. Because I kind of think that's what happened to my pair of 3s, that the leather was so moist that when I took them to a warmer country, they immediately dried out very quickly, and that's what degraded the leather rapidly, so they failed quickly. But yeah, I'm not a material scientist, I don't actually know that. I just know that that's obviously soaking up water when you don't think, intuitively that it should be. So that's Nash we just came from, and then we're walking back down the road towards Wadden, where we've already been once. We're doing that to avoid cows in the fields, because they're cows. So boots wise, they're walking down the road at the moment, so they're kind of fine. I think they do get quite hot, but once they're warmed up they just maintain that temperature. And I am wearing like full cushion dark tough socks. They're not like lightweight summer socks or anything, so they are warm, but they're not uncomfortably warm. I've also just got a blister coming through on the inside of my right heel, which is a bit irritating, but equally we're probably 9 miles or so in, so new boots, 9 miles in, a blister, let's not get excited. The left ankle, again, it has a little bit of an ache coming in just around where it's being held, but then why not? So that was our bit of road over there behind that gate. That's where the cars are, and then that's Wadden again over there, because that's where we were sort of going, and that's Nash, and this is just a path through the middle, and that's the most ugly house over there, that one. You can see it from all around and it's just silly. So there's another helicopter, just helicopters today, just I presume going around the rain on their way to Silverstone, because the rain is now over there. It's clearing up over there. I mean, you can still see it's falling. As for the boots are still exactly the same as they were when I was on the road over there, because we're still basically in the same bit. We're about 10 miles in. No issue with them. Toes are fine. Everything's fine. It's kind of disappointing. You sort of want to be able to complain and criticise, but they're just feeling good. So I can go. So it's definitely raining now. There's not much you can do about it, because I can't control the weather. But I couldn't be bothered to put my waterproof trousers on, so that's an issue. But yeah, they're holding up really well, so they're not actually wicking the water into the boot yet. It is at least still going down the outside. But I'm getting the full experience. I think it's inevitable I'm now going to get a wet shoe through my own laziness. I would stop here and do it, because everything's wet now, so why worry? But it's still warm, so if it stopped raining, maybe I'd dry out. But I don't really see an end to it at the moment. Oh, okay, so I had to give up. I put my waterproof trousers on, which meant I had to put my muddy boots through my trousers, which meant I've got a muddy bottom, which isn't. So the reason I did that is because going through the crops, I'm getting soaked. It's just falling, it's just pressing against my legs, and it's cold water dripping down into my boots. But not actually that bad, actually. I think a little bit. I can feel it around the ankle on my left side. So this is just where we cut across the bottom of the dairy farm I was avoiding, whatever it is, the cow farm. It's the only place we'll go through there. Then we're back into this. And there's the cows in the next field. So we could have probably cut across there. But do this bit, I'm going to have to do up the vents as well. Right, so now I can go through this without getting completely and utterly soaking wet, which is great. It's going to get warm though. The other problem with my waterproof trousers is I wash them in the washing machine, which means they're soaked in detergent. So when they start to get wet, they'll start having bubbles come out and they'll be soapy, which looks a bit odd, but yeah, done stranger things. mud pickup wires. They pick up mud, but yeah, this is like clay sort of, so it's exceptionally sticky anyway. But they are getting heavier, and this is usually where I actually start to injure myself, because there's an extra couple of kilos of mud swinging on the end of my legs. But I think that I'm going to probably fall on my face before that becomes a problem. So. Alright, so this is just over 11 miles in, and we're going to go down there and join up with the route we were on originally. I just come from over there. So now my ankles are starting to hurt because of all the mud on these shoes. There's nothing to do with the boots themselves, but look at that. That's quite quite a lot of mud. So you just have to scrape it off every once in a while. It's not really a fault of the shoe, it's the nature of mud. So, still happy, and my feet are, now the temperature's dropped a bit. You know, my feet are the perfect temperature. I'm not even thinking they're warm. So that's nice. Now after taking that mud off, I'm going to walk through another field and fill up on mud again. Right, so this is back where we sort of started. It's a bit of the Milton Keynes boundary walk, but it's the closest bit there is to rocky terrain that I can do in Buckinghamshire. So that's what we're doing here. Obviously my old boots were incredibly worn, so you could feel every pebble through them. And they didn't start out like that, so they felt very firm. And these are the same, these are very firm. And yeah, obviously if you put all your weight on one point of a rock, it's going to feel like you've done that, but yeah, in general it feels like a firm, solid base that you're not worried about it being a loose surface you're walking on. It feels reassuring, and you feel confident about taking your next step always. So they're kind of nice. And a bit more flexibility might be nice, but they are brand new, so they're going to wear a little and break in. So that'll come. But yeah, but even now they're very confident. They're very confident, very comfortable, and I'm very confident walking up a slightly gravelly track, which isn't exactly the greatest test of a boot, but yeah, this is what I got to work with. I mean, the pylons over there, I mean, we go, well actually if we go that way, that's beautiful countryside. That's pylons, so yeah. Work with what you got. So I guess that's about it, because I'm home almost. Just over the next hill, so we're just over 12 miles in, I guess, probably 12 and a half-ish. And that'll be maybe another mile or so home. It's not doing too badly. Yeah, the water didn't end up going down the boots, so they're still dry inside. They're covered in grass seed. Mud's come off mainly because of the grass, which is good. They're still comfy. My ankles are hurting a little, my left ankle more than my right, but that's because I haven't worn boots for a while. So I'm not going to say it's these boots, that's just me. And also they're new boots, and I've just worn them for quite a long little hike around the neighbourhood. Then we're back where we are, and then Silverstone's still over there, but the helicopters have gone because it looks like I guess everything's over or something. So that was fun. And I need to go back and I guess compare the 4s to the 3s, because there are some differences between them. They're not the same boot, and I think there's been, I call it engineering, cost engineering, I think. So I'm not confident, you know, whether that's been a good or a bad thing, but I'd need to show you that all next to the 3s, which I might do a bit later.